Hey, I'm working on the early phases of a video here for Big Walker, the early bird special. And I just thought I'd show you quick how I do something with this VSDC video editor. And I got a steaming cup of coffee here, just got up, so I'm just not quite into it yet. But anyways, so I have the launch right at the moment where I launch on two separate cameras. There's two tracks here. This is my camera that's on the keel, and this other track is a front view camera that I have on there. So you can slide these around, but what I've done so far is I've cut that to be at the exact moment where I launch in both of these tracks. So now I can align these two tracks, and then if I want to switch views, what I'll do is well, let me see. I'll move this forward so you can see the timeline forward. There's the launch. But if I wanted to show you what it looks like from the front view camera, I can select the front view camera, and I can use this thing here that says order, and move it one layer up, or bring to top one layer up. So right there, if I wanted to show that from the other camera, all I'd have to do is use this cut right here and cut that. Cut both of them, cut both tracks right there. And then I can move the one portion to the top and leave the other portion out, or just delete the portion that I don't want from the other video track. So that's the easiest way I've found of finding the exact moment in time that you want to switch cameras, is just to cut them both at the same spot, and then get rid of the one you don't want, and then the other one will show up. Now I'll show you how this works later as I move on here. So I wanted to show you this right here is a bunch of little snippets of getting ready, the pre-flighting. And I've deleted a lot of the stuff that takes time in here, but these little snippets that I'm showing right here are just to kind of show who was involved, who was out there that day. And I think the preparation for flying, doing your hang check, basically making sure everything's set up with your glider, is pretty important, and very important actually. And I show it because it takes a minute or so out of the video, maybe 2 minutes, but I think it's neat to go back and look at these videos later and see who all was there, and also just note that you're doing your safety checks and stuff. For people that don't fly or don't know anything about this flying stuff, I think it's informative to put that in there. And the actual launch starts up here on the timeline. So I'm going to move everything. Let me see here. I'm going to move everything over so that it all flows together. In other words, I'll move the timeline.
Ready, clear.
I'll move the videos over and close up this time gap here by moving these videos over to that as I'm working on this thing. And then once that's done, then I can go to splicing rest of the pieces from both cameras in however I see fit. So right now I probably have about 10 minutes into this video making it so far. And the the hardest part is deciding what to cut out and what to put in. And sometimes you have to rewatch an hour of footage or something to try to figure out what the best parts were. Sometimes I get lazy, and then that's why my videos are really long. But sometimes I just do it because sometimes I leave them long just because it was a pretty epic flight and I want to go back and see the entire thing later. But I know that's not probably what most people that would want to watch a video would want to see. So sometimes I'll do a short edition of the video and then a long edition. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you my technique. Oh, and this is the junk pile here. This is stuff that I've cut out that I didn't think it, it added anything. So I'm going to delete these pieces down here. I just, you can slide these around. And that's what I do. I just slide them out of my way. And then eventually I think, when I'm sure that I don't need anything from them, I'll delete those, clean this up. So, I'm pretty sure I don't need this one right now. I'll just hit delete, gone. So that's my process. The other purpose of these videos that I have, it kind of forms my logbook. I can go back and look at these and see exactly what happened that day. And I can see how long my flight was. You come over here, look at your entire timeline. Here's where I'm coming in for the landing. And you can see that I'm around, what's it say, an hour and 8 minutes here. Something like that. Yeah. 108 is where the timeline is at right now. See the timeline move when I move that cursor or that red line. So yeah, it's about just a little over an hour flight. So I don't know, it's actually kind of fun to make a video when you have time to do it because you get to relive the flight. It's like, yeah, I remember that. That was really fun. Or sometimes you also remember your follies. What went right, what went wrong. It reminds you when you look at your past footage. Here is something I remember from this flight. It around, I don't know, part way into the flight, I guess it was around 45 minutes in, these big mean clouds rolled in, and they were a lot bigger of clouds than I thought. And I started to get this feeling of cloud suck, where basically the rising air going up into that cloud is so strong that it's pulling you up, even though you're trying to escape it, or you're pulling in the bar and trying to go faster and actually go down while you're still going up, because the wind going up into that cloud is so, the vertical lift of that air is going into that cloud faster than you can fall with the glider. So I was trying to get away from this big mean cloud, and I didn't realize how big it was until it sort of moved closer to where I was flying. So I got out of there when I realized how possibly dangerous this could be with this cloud pulling on me. I got out of there. I remember turning and going the opposite way from this cloud, down the ridge the other way, trying to escape it, because no matter what I did, I was going up, and all of a sudden it got turbulent. I got scared, so I got out of there. And then once I went far enough to the right on the ridge, I did escape it, and then I was able to fly a little longer and wait, you know, kind of come in from the other direction into the landing field. So that, that was sort of a hair-raising feeling to be having that turbulence and cloud suck. So just looking at this video made me remember all that. So anyways, I'm gonna finish up this video after I decide what pieces I want to keep in it. So I found the part in the video where it started to get really bad as far as the cloud suck and the turbulence, and that was right around like the 58-minute mark on the timeline. I could see myself pulling in on the bar and trying to escape that cloud. So I was heading down the ridge to the right, trying to get away from it because it was thrashing me around, and I couldn't, you know, no matter what I did, pulling in or whatever, I wasn't going down, I was still going up. So that's why I curtailed my flight around about an hour, you know. It started to feel dangerous up there, and I just got out of there. And then I went to go land. That giant cloud that was doing that to me, it was a whole lot bigger than I realized at first. It was a very big, probably the makings of a thunderstorm type cloud. So here you can see what I'm up to. I'm cutting top and bottom tracks with what I want to splice in there from the other camera. So you see this view right here is showing just a view down the ridge. You don't want to see me hanging from the hang glider the whole time. This one here is an interesting one, I believe. Oh yeah, this is good. There's a sailplane coming past me. I'm up on the ridge and the sailplane's down lower and it's zooming. So I want that. So basically on this flight, I went for about, I don't know, 15, 20, not quite 20 minutes down the ridge to the left. And this is where I turned around. So I got a view there of kind of when I decide I better go back home. I better go back. So you can see out here where this road has a bend. That's a pretty good marker as to where I decided to turn around. I mean, I could have went further, but I just I wasn't getting real high, so I didn't want to push my luck, I guess you'd say. I wanted to get back to Big Walker's LZ. So I definitely want to show that little clip